I want to begin this entire conversation by telling you that your future is more limitless than you ever dreamed. And I say that with absolute conviction. Every time I think back to my early years, I recall those moments of doubt and struggle. And it reminds me that we are all endowed with something truly extraordinary inside of us, longing to come out. Have you ever wondered what separates those who succeed from those who merely drift by? I certainly did, and I spent my life searching for concrete, practical answers. I remember how I used to feel stuck in patterns of thought and action, barely scraping by in the hopes that something might magically change. In those days, my self-esteem was low, my self-image was uncertain, and my self-ideal was fuzzy at best. Yet everything shifted the moment I decided to cultivate a positive attitude and a burning desire to accomplish larger goals than I'd ever attempted before. Attitude is indeed everything. It determines how we view ourselves and how quickly we bounce back from hardship, and it even affects our future possibilities. By reprogramming your perspective to see opportunity wherever you look, you can literally reshape the direction of your entire life. This idea of shaping one's path is not the realm of fantasy. It is a process as real as any law of nature. It's quite remarkable how just one subtle change, one powerful choice to think in terms of potential, can alter the angle at which we attack our goals, like a pilot adjusting the plane's orientation toward the horizon. Picture your own attitude as an angle of attack, deciding whether you'll fly high or remain stalled on the runway. When my own shift began, I found that practicing self-disciplined behaviors and repeating empowering statements made a profound difference in my results. I started saying to myself, I like myself, every time a negative thought threatened to creep in, and this boosted my levels of self-esteem in astonishing ways. The more I repeated that phrase, the more I felt something lighten inside, as though I were rewiring my brain for optimism. So let me ask you a question. Are you truly aware of the vast power you can tap by consciously directing your mind in the direction of your choosing? I promise you, if you place your focus and energy on a well-defined aspiration, you will see magical transformations that others may deem impossible. Everything of value in my life, the improved finances, the better relationships, the more rewarding career, began as just an idea that I then combined with action. Perhaps you, like me, came from a background that lacked resources or encouragement. My personal story was shaped by adversity and early struggles with negativity, but the real game changer was discovering that success is not an accident. It follows certain laws and principles, just like flight follows aerodynamic principles. Just as an airplane can't ascend without specific alignment of its wings and engine power, neither can you expect to soar if you're missing the right mindset and daily habits. Now, if you're standing on the sidelines wondering whether these methods apply to you, let me assure you that they do. And the reason is simple. Every human being is born with secret orders embedded in their unique gifts, talents, and drives. We come into this world with the potential to accomplish something remarkable. No one is junk, no one is irrelevant. Those who truly thrive in our society come to recognize that service and contribution are at the heart of genuine fulfillment. As Einstein said, we must be here to serve others. What other purpose could there be? Well, every single day I watch as people fulfill that truth by making valuable contributions through their businesses, their professions, and even their community involvement. We might call this the capitalist approach, providing services that enhance the lives of our fellow citizens. But in essence, it is one of the highest forms of caring because we take the time to produce something valuable for someone else. Let me stress it again. If you shift your angle of attack so that you aim to create value for others, you will find your own success expanding at a speed that stuns you. The formula for maximizing potential. I'd like to illustrate how you can maximize your potential by introducing a simple formula that I found helpful. IA, inborn attributes, plus AA, acquired attributes, multiplied by AT, attitude, equals your IHP, individual human potential. In other words, you come into this life with certain natural aptitudes, but you must add new skills, knowledge, and experience continually if you want to see your results multiply. Then you must back all of this with a winning attitude to unleash your total potential. The best part is that you can adjust your attitude in an instant, simply by deciding on a more empowering interpretation of your situation. That's right. You might already have robust talents and have studied relevant knowledge, but if your attitude is negative, it's like having the plane pointed downward, making a crash landing inevitable. Change your attitude and watch how drastically your results change. This concept is not just a mental trick, it reflects a deep law of cause and effect. If you walk into a situation with high confidence, positivity, and expectations of success, the people around you tend to mirror your energy, responding favorably to your conviction. Conversely, if you show up expecting the worst, your fear becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's remarkable, but the laws that govern your external world are intimately tied to the mental signals you radiate. This is precisely why the highest earning salespeople walk into each interaction fully expecting to sell, or why exemplary parents presume that their children will behave wonderfully. Think about it, 85%, maybe more, of your achievements will be determined by your mental approach, your abiding sense of confidence, and the goals you persistently keep in sight. Learning from setbacks, let me also note something crucial. We all have setbacks. Not every approach yields immediate victory. But here's the secret that sets top performers apart. They frame every disappointment as a learning experience. Instead of spiraling into self-blame or self-pity, they examine the outcome, extract the lesson, and then redirect themselves toward the next attempt. By adopting that mindset, any costly or painful failure is transformed into an investment in your further success. Once you set this approach in motion, you'll gain unstoppable momentum. The power of self-concept. Equally important is the recognition that your beliefs about yourself shape your outer world. Through childhood, we all develop a self-concept, an internal blueprint that governs how we see ourselves, how we think we are supposed to behave, and what we think we deserve. This blueprint is subjective, formed from scattered impressions of our family, our environment, random feedback we received, and our own early experiences of success or failure. Because it's not set in stone, the good news is that you can reprogram your blueprint. Anytime you want to earn more, be healthier, or become better in any dimension, you need to stretch your self-concept in that domain. Let's say your self-concept for finances is fairly low, meaning you only see yourself earning a modest income no matter how hard you work. Then, if you suddenly earn a bit above that range, you'll engage in compensatory behaviors to get rid of the surplus, because that extra income sits outside your comfort zone. Conversely, if you slip below your self-concept range, you might hustle extra to climb back. It's quite astounding how we unconsciously regulate ourselves. As soon as I realized this, I learned to raise my internal income comfort zone. For instance, if you currently visualize yourself making a certain figure, try mentally adding 25 or 50% to it, affirm that new total as the baseline, and keep feeding your mind that target. Soon, your subconscious will nudge your actions into alignment with this bigger vision. Of course, do not let fear or hesitation sabotage the process. Hold fast to the bigger self-concept, even if it feels odd at first. The same principle applies to your weight, your social skills, your leadership capacity, everything. Essentially, your self-concept can be broken into three parts: your self-ideal, the qualities you admire most in role models or heroes; your self-image, the way you see yourself performing in the present; and your self-esteem, the measure of how much you genuinely like yourself. The importance of self-esteem. Of these three, self-esteem is the most vital. Some experts even argue that self-esteem is the fuel that powers every form of achievement. Because you can't possibly outperform your self-esteem for long, eventually, you'll revert to the level you believe you deserve. Try it out. Whenever you catch your mind drifting into negativity, say, "I like myself," repeatedly until the gloom lifts. I do this consistently, and it works wonders to dispel self-doubt. Each day, you can treat yourself to a form of mental conditioning. Incorporate phrases that affirm your self-worth, and you'll see that your entire personality begins to glow with renewed optimism. Let me give you one personal illustration. When I started repeating positive affirmations, I found that tasks that once frightened me, like calling on major clients or negotiating higher fees, no longer seemed so daunting. My new, stronger sense of self-worth conquered my fear. If you persist in practicing this technique, your old insecurities will be replaced by an expectation of success, opening the door to bigger opportunities. Rediscovering fearlessness. Now keep in mind that we were all born into this world fearless and spontaneous. A baby doesn't worry about others' opinions. It simply does what it wants. It only develops fear or reticence later in response to negative experiences or remarks. Unfortunately, many of us grew up in environments that withheld love or support, leading us to form limiting beliefs. However, our wiring for success remains intact underneath those overlays of doubt. You can return to that attitude of "I can and I don't have to," meaning you're unafraid to act and unconstrained by worry, by retraining your mind and forging new emotional habits. The next big question is, why do some people flourish while others remain stuck? I found that one key is to ask whether you are truly willing to make a firm decision to change. You can do all the reading in the world, watch videos, or attend seminars, but if you never commit wholeheartedly, no transformation will follow. Once you choose to shift your mental orientation, the entire universe of possibilities seems to open. Ask yourself right now, am I ready to dream bigger? Am I ready to handle the obstacles that might appear along the way? Am I ready to claim that self-concept of real success? If your answer is yes, then proceed with determination. Another point is about goals. The moment you clarify exactly what you want, you stop spinning your wheels in the mud of indecision. Once I became thoroughly convinced that I could become a top salesperson and wrote that conviction down, I found myself stepping into bigger deals, acquiring new skills, and forging relationships that took me to the next level. There was no magic here, just a consistent focus that produced consistent action. I also believe wholeheartedly in the power of continuous learning. We must feed our minds constantly with the best knowledge and perspectives available. Go to the library, read books by people who overcame circumstances far tougher than yours, and remember to glean their lessons. Listen to audio programs while commuting, so your daily travel time becomes a personal development academy. Model your behavior on those who have already accomplished what you desire. There's no shame in replicating success habits that have stood the test of time. If others can do it, so can you, provided you adopt their approach and persist long enough to see results. Another crucial element is discipline. I often define discipline as doing what you need to do, whether you feel like it or not. Our society is brimming with distractions and temptations that can sabotage our attempts to grow. But if you vow to stay disciplined, even when it's inconvenient, especially when it's inconvenient, you will enjoy an extraordinary competitive edge. For instance, if you want to get in better shape physically, set a time every day for exercise and keep that commitment. If you wish to generate better financial stability, discipline yourself to save a fixed percentage of your income, no matter what excuses your mind conjures up. Little by little, these disciplined habits accumulate into a fortress of unstoppable momentum. Let's not overlook the reality that your relationships, both personal and professional, are intricately tied to your levels of self-esteem, self-image, and your ability to express kindness and empathy. The more confident and secure you feel inside, the more gracious you'll be to others. You'll listen more, judge less, encourage more. Whether you're a leader at work or a parent at home, your capacity to see the best in people arises from that strong internal sense of security. In essence, the more you like yourself, the more open you are to liking others, which triggers a positive cycle of acceptance and cooperation that yields all sorts of beneficial outcomes for you and your community. Also, consider that your brain is like a muscle. When you use it vigorously, by stretching to solve problems, devouring new information, or devising creative solutions, you boost your mental capacity over time. You become sharper, more resourceful. The flip side is that if you allow your mind to idle with trivial distractions and negativity, it won't develop the strength needed to excel. Let me challenge you right now. Push your intellect to the next level by reading a challenging book, tackling a new skill, or brainstorming 20 solutions to a current dilemma. This is akin to weightlifting for the mind. Another technique that yields tremendous results is visualization. Before entering a challenging scenario, like delivering a key presentation or interviewing for a better position, take a moment to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and picture yourself executing flawlessly. See yourself smiling, shaking hands, receiving the positive feedback. When you open your eyes, you'll feel calmer and more prepared because your mind and body have just had a trial run of success. And guess what? This effect compounds with repeated practice until you can anchor a winning mental state almost instantly. I can't emphasize enough how self-talk also shapes your outcomes. We all have a steady stream of internal chatter, and if you're not guiding it carefully, it can become a toxic loop of negativity. Replace those old messages with powerful statements. I am successful, I am healthy, I achieve my goals, I deserve greatness. Through consistent repetition, these declarations seep into your unconscious mind, rewriting the script of your life. Remember that everything that becomes your external reality is first formed as an internal concept. Now, as you move deeper into transforming your life, you might notice that certain friends or family members don't quite understand or support your newfound ambition. They might say things like, "Why bother? That's too hard," or "Don't get your hopes up." This is where you must hold firm. Please hear me clearly. Other people's limitations do not have to become yours. Stay the course. Learn to politely disengage from naysayers and align yourself with people who nurture your positive vision. Better yet, become a beacon for others. Demonstrate by example what is possible when you commit wholeheartedly to your progress. At times, you'll see immediate leaps in your performance, which will amaze you. In other instances, you'll find that growth follows a slower pattern, marked by incremental improvements. Both phenomena are normal. Think of personal development like you would a farmland. You put in the seeds, you nurture the ground, and the crops eventually appear, often in a flurry of growth that seems to come all at once. The key is to maintain faith during the invisible growth periods. You must feed your dreams with unwavering belief, keep taking small steps every day, and then relish the harvest when it comes. This process is unstoppable as long as you keep building upon your newly expanded self-concept. Let me also remind you of the unstoppable power of a meaningful purpose. If your vision of success resonates with a deeper calling to serve others, you ignite a type of motivation that rarely fades. Ask yourself, who will benefit if I achieve this goal? How can I turn my success into a vehicle for helping people? With that noble aim in mind, you'll find that your passion ignites at every obstacle, fueling you to keep forging ahead. That sense of service is one of the highest motivators known to humankind. If you're feeling stuck in a job or environment that doesn't support your aspirations, use your creativity to find or design a scenario that does. Often it's not about leaping to something radically new overnight, but about exploring feasible steps that lead you to better alignment with your talents and passion. There is no tragedy in temporarily staying in a bridge job to pay your bills while working nights and weekends on your dream. The real tragedy is ignoring that dream indefinitely, letting it wither away because you think it's too late or too difficult. Trust me, it's never too late. Now, as we approach the final stretch of this talk, I want to call you to action. Don't just let these words wash over you and then forget them tomorrow. Decide on at least one or two ideas that resonate strongly and resolve to practice them starting today. Maybe it's the repetition of, I like myself, whenever negativity arises. Maybe it's the visualization technique right before an important event. Maybe it's raising your monthly savings rate by even 2 or 3%. Or forging a new professional contact each week. The specifics matter less than your unwavering commitment to implement. Through trial and error, you'll refine your strategies until they start yielding measurable results. I encourage you to track your progress too. Keep a journal in which you note your daily or weekly actions and any forward steps you take. Document small successes so you can look back and see how far you've come. This record becomes a treasure trove of motivation when the inevitable obstacles occur, reminding you that you've already conquered challenges to get this far. Remember, you can't have a rainbow without a little rain, so treat each adversity as a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block. Let me also highlight the importance of reflection. Spend at least a few minutes every day to review what went well, what didn't, and how you can improve. When you cultivate this habit of calm introspection, you'll see patterns, areas for fine-tuning, and hidden opportunities. Combine that with consistent, bold action, and you will gain unstoppable momentum. And so we come to this final crucial point. You are in control of crafting your own masterpiece of a life. By harnessing your fearless creativity, you can shape your destiny. By giving yourself unwavering love and acceptance, you fortify your self-esteem. By embracing new challenges enthusiastically, you expand your talents beyond what you imagined. By rendering excellent service to others, you align with universal laws of contribution and success. All the while, keep building that unstoppable attitude, that angle of attack that points you directly upward, aiming well above the horizon. Right now, I want you to take a deep breath and declare, I will grow. Because if you keep growing, you will inevitably step into the person you were meant to be. I promise you from the bottom of my heart that if you adopt these philosophies, internalize them, and back them with consistent effort, your life will shift in ways you can scarcely predict right now, and you'll find yourself reflecting one day, amazed by how far you've come. Let me close with a final push. Believe in your own vast capacity. You are capable of learning anything necessary and of performing at world-class levels in whatever occupation or mission you choose. You can awaken each day with a sense of unstoppable purpose if you set your mind to it. So from this point on, resolve to aim high, speak your success into existence, and prove by your actions that you mean business. You will witness how your positive thoughts shape reality, and you will see that life's obstacles become stepping stones when you approach them with unwavering resolve. Do not let the world's doubters derail you. Stay connected to your mission of growth, to your innate drive to exceed what you thought possible, and to your abiding desire to make a meaningful contribution to people around you. Let every moment become a reflection of your highest values and your newly expanded self-concept. I assure you, you will experience more confidence, more joy, and more success than you can possibly imagine right now. Take that first bold step, even if it's small, and watch how the doors of opportunity fling themselves open. Make a promise to yourself, I will do whatever it takes to unleash my true potential, because the time is now, my friend. The time is right now.